Hi Aries. How are you? Aries, so there's not going to be any dates on this reading, so whenever the message finds you, if it resonates, that's great. Aries, I'm gonna interpret the message maybe with like two different sides, two different energies. You swap, reverse, do whatever you need to do that you feel like makes the message more understandable for you. If you feel like you're relating to one side more than the other, that's fine. You know, just swap and reverse it however you need. Please don't try and force the messages to fit Aries. You know, if it really isn't resonating with you or the situation that you have going on in your life right now, please don't try and make it fit, because then you're just going to end up receiving a message that isn't for you, and then that could get you all confused, and we don't want that to happen. So if there isn't a message for you in this video, hopefully there will be in the next one. And Aries, I'm gonna take the pace of these videos a lot slower these days, because I felt like when I was doing them in the past, I had to maybe rush the talking and the communication, and I think because of that, and because I didn't give myself maybe the silences that I needed to actually really look at the cards and channel the message, maybe I wasn't being able to bring you as deep a message as I would like to. So if you do see me kind of stopping for a minute or so, just really looking at the cards, feel free to like skip forward to when I do start talking. But that is, for me, going to be the best way moving forward to give you the most deep and truthful messages as I can, because I'm not going to sugarcoat anything. So, Aries, hopefully I won't keep calling you Pisces, because I literally just recorded the Pisces video. So if I do, I apologize. So, let's start with a bang. Aries, 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 please. Which story are we gonna pick up on for Aries today? Damn. Okay. I'm gonna show you the cards and then I'm just gonna look at them. So we've got the Moon card, the Nine of Swords. Sorry for the glare. And then we have the Knight of Cups, or the Angel of Cups. So Aries, straight away I can say you are swiftly moving away from fear, anxiety, a sense of dread, a sense of severe discomfort, towards something that feels far more freeing, far more light, far more ethereal, angelic. Something that's bringing in far more light in your world, because we've gone from the Moon and the Nine of Swords. Sorry, the Moon and the Nine of Swords. These are lots of confusion and fear. A heaviness that's kind of been percolating around you, that has led to a point where Aries has been unable to see a way out of the situation, or has been very confused whilst they've been trying to navigate the path forward. It's like the path forward has only just been lit by the light of the moon. It's only just been lit so incredibly faintly that Aries almost couldn't find the path forward. Aries almost couldn't find the gateway out. You see how she stood at this gate? And it's like this Nine of Swords here. Each one of these swords are like all the different paths that you tried to take to leave. All the different paths that you tried to take, all the different scenarios that you went through in your head, trying to figure out, wait, okay, can I go this way? Should I go that way? Should I do it this way? Should I do it this way? And just absolutely stressing yourself out to the point of Aries is just like, right, I'm just gonna go with whichever one comes up next, and that's it. I'm exiting out of the situation as swiftly as possible. And with these two dogs in the corner here, these guard dogs, it might have caused quite a ruckus, or there might have been a lot of complaints or a lot of people who were voicing their opinions on the fact that Aries has decided to leave, decided to walk away from the situation. And Aries is just like, shut up. Shut up, I can't hear it anymore. It's too loud, the noise is too loud. I don't want your opinion. I don't want your advice, maybe. Because I'm not, whoever these two characters are here, whatever this is representing for the Aries, this doesn't feel like friendly support. It feels snaky almost. Snaky, vicious, untrustworthy, two-faced, even two-faced. The fact that we've got the two dogs there. It's a very like underworld kind of energy. But Aries knows that, you know, they can't trust these two dogs here, whatever those two dogs are representing. Aries knows that, and that's why Aries is just walking past the dogs, completely blind, acting like they're deaf. They can't even hear anything that these dogs are howling or moaning about. Aries is just like, no, I see the path forward now. I see it and I'm taking it. This is my exit strategy, and this is the one that I'm staying with, because you couldn't sit in this energy any longer. You couldn't sit in the Nine of Swords. You couldn't sit in that percolating energy of trying to figure out which way to go, because there's like a sense of desperation. A sense of desperation that you needed to leave, that you needed to get out as quickly as possible. It was like getting that. It was like getting that kind of like time critical. Perhaps because your emotions just couldn't deal with it anymore. Your emotions just couldn't deal with the stress, the sheer stress of the situation anymore. So you were like, I'm just going to use this path forward. I don't care where it leads at this point, but at least it's a path out. Even if I can't fully see where it's taking me or where it's leading, at least I know I'm going to be out of these walls, out of this prison, out of this gate, and I'm going to be in some form of freedom. Aries finds their wings. Aries finds their wings. So I feel like that's something that you've just moved through quite recently. And I'm actually getting like, that felt maybe perhaps quite traumatic for you, Aries. But now, this is the energy that I'm getting that you're sitting in. This Knight of Cups. Do you see how he's like holding this turtle dove in his hands over his heart? We have like two symbols of freedom here. The larger wings on his back, and then the turtle dove that he's holding over his heart. This is such a different state to be in. Look how dark these cards are here. How dark, gloomy, blue-grey tone they are. And then we come in, bam, with just this singing, angelic being with sunlight streaming in through the windows behind him, holding this turtle dove. Your heart has been completely freed from this situation now. Completely freed. And you feel like you've got your freedom back. You can feel the wind beneath your wings again, Aries. It's like, that's it. Aries has found that slipstream, and that's it. Momentum's just absolutely building now for Aries. Building, building, building. Which deck do I want to go to next? This one. Let's get another card for you, Aries. You can't cage an Aries, man. Aries is the first one in the zodiac. Aries are the forefront. They are the leaders. They are the first spark of divine passion. You know, when an Aries gets to the point that Aries needs to go, Aries will leave and Aries will exit. Aries is a torchbearer. They are a fire starter. They are a pathfinder. They're the people that burn new pathways through woodlands. They burn new pathways through areas in people's lives where people feel like they can't find a way out or they can't find a solution. Aries brings a solution in a way that maybe someone hasn't previously seen before. They give almost like a new set of eyes to it. What was I saying, Aries, about you sneaking away? Look at you sneaking away here from this massive like tower, this prison thing. And whoever you're sneaking away from, you've completely left behind. It's like you've seen how restricted this person is. Look at them. They're so stuck in their own ways. They're so stuck in, I do want to say, I mean, this is completely red, this tower here, so it's making me think about the root chakra. They are very much trapped in, how best do I say this? I don't want to say like earthly attachments, because, you know, there's a thing with the New Age community, I think, sometimes to get too detached from Earth, you know, to end up sort of, we enjoy so much, you know, path working and going into deep states and, you know, transcending, you know, previous behaviors and integrating shadow and like all of that jazz, which I love, I'm all for. But something about this particular individual was trapped in earthly attachments that were detrimental to their soul, I want to say. And don't mean like they're damned to hell or anything like that, but what I do mean is that it's detrimental to the soul in the sense of there is absolutely no room for growth for this individual. Like, look at them. They are taking up all of the space in that tower. They are literally pressed against their own walls. They're like pressed against their own barriers, their own boundaries. They have literally outgrown their own prison, but yet they still refuse to leave. They've outgrown their own prison, but yet they still refuse to leave. And finally, Aries realized this, and Aries is like, I'm out of here. I'm out of here. This is not my prison. This is your prison. This place is not big enough for the two of us. I'm just going to leave you and let you deal with your own stuff because you are not helping yourself. This person could have left that prison a long time ago. They could have left that prison when it fitted them, when they could still access the door, but it's almost like this, it's kind of sad because it's like this person now is so stuck in their old ways. They're so stuck in their old behaviors that are detrimental. So I'm talking like earthly behaviors that are detrimental, however that can be interpreted. Drugs, alcohol abuse, maybe just far too attached to money, you know, to the point where they overwork themselves and they don't have time for their family. You know, it's stuff like that, things that keep the soul trapped, things that keep the individual trapped, that don't give them enough time to put into relationships or put into loving connections or put into their family or put into their own personal growth. All right, that's why it's sad, because this person can't grow anymore in the current state that they're in. They can't grow any further, and they can only see, it's like they only have one eye left. This person can only see this way of life. This is all they know, this is all they have known, and this is all they seem like they might end up knowing, because they only have one eye at this point. This is all they can see. This is all. It's just, no matter how much you maybe try to talk to this person, or you try to show this person a different way out, maybe you also tried to show this person a different path, a different way of being, this person just couldn't see it. Like, they're just not at all on the same wavelength as you, Aries, like at all. So Aries finally realized that and is like, yeah, screw this, I'm out. Hasta la vista. Aries exits. Ace of Swords. This is you like absolutely getting your power back. You see how there's this ivy that's wrapped around the sword? Ivy is, in old Celtic societies, ivy was sometimes seen as like a marriage plant. So, you know, when like they do the hand fasting, ivy was sometimes seen as a way of like being bound to another individual. So Aries, you might have felt incredibly bound to this individual. You might have felt incredibly bound, like you had a responsibility for them. You had a responsibility to help them out of whatever situation they got themselves stuck in. You had a responsibility to be there for them, to help them see or change their perspective, to help them grow, to help them evolve. But eventually, Aries, you just realize this person is just not budging, like they're too stuck in their own ways. And what's beautiful is now, Aries, it's like this commitment has turned from being chained and bound to this one here, stuck in the tower, to now, Aries, you have your own sword of power. And you see how this is going up onto their own crown as well. It's like all of that commitment is now coming back to Aries. Aries is leaving, and Aries is taking their commitment, their self-empowerment, and it's like they're putting it all back into the self. Aries is the self. Aries is the first house of the zodiac, which is the I. It's the I, it's the self, it's the me. It's not the collective. It's not like Pisces, which is the collective. Aries is about the self. So an Aries who is overgiving to other individuals to a point that becomes to detriment to the Aries individual, and it starts affecting them, and they start losing their own sense of self, they start losing their own sense of power, that will dramatically swing an Aries out of balance, because Aries is all about, not in an egotistical way, I mean, don't get me wrong, I have met some egotistical Aries, but that's not star sign related, okay? But if we're just talking about star signs in general, you know, and the symbolism attached to specific houses and signs, well, Aries is all about self-empowerment and self-development. You know, Virgo would be, you know, wanting to heal and develop groups of people. Aries is the collective. You know, a lot of other signs are very much focused on external relationships and other people. But Aries, if you first and foremost have lost touch with taking care of yourself before others, that will affect an Aries more so than perhaps the next 11 signs in the zodiac. Okay, it will affect them more, and it will end up affecting their health. And now that I say this, you see how she's so incredibly bony here. I mean, this is almost like skeletal. In fact, you can see here like the bones coming through. So whatever situation this was, Aries, whoever this represents for you, this might not be a person, it could just be a situation that you're involved with or attached to. It's like this process actually damaged your physical health. Like your physical health. It might have damaged your mental health, because you see how we have this split person here, this split face, right? You might have literally separated from your own sense of self. It might have affected your mental health, and it might have affected your physical health, because we can see how underweight and like skinny she is here. So whatever this situation took from you, it took an incredible amount, I do want to say. An incredible amount, and that's why it's so amazing that here you are now, and it's like with this ivy wrapping around this sword, it's like the commitments come back to Aries. Aries has realigned, Aries has found their power again, and Aries is moving forward, and it's like me first, I come first, and then, sorry, a message just came through and it distracted me. I come first, and then I will find a turtle dove who I can care for and look after in the way that I tried to look after this eye here in this big tower. But next time this turtle dove, it will be the right individual, it'll be the right situation that I will give to again, and it won't detract from my sense of self, it won't detract from my personality, my sense of power, my self-love that I give to myself. Instead, I will retain my wings, and I will give wings to the other person or the other situation too. Okay, Aries, that kind of feels like it wants to end there. Aries, I hope you enjoyed the reading. I hope there was something in there for you. If not, hopefully there will be something in the next one for you. And I hope you have a lovely day, and thank you for watching. Mwah. Bye, Aries.